Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming this evening. We're going to start right on time, just in the interest of everybody's getting home. I expect this to take about 45 minutes, just in case anybody has that question. My name is Courtney Harder. I am the Community Development Director for the City of Council Bluffs. Thanks for coming tonight. Just a couple housekeeping things. The restrooms are across the hall towards the very end. Feel free to get up if needed. We are recording this, so this will be an option to watch back later on. Also means that if I shush you, it's not personal. It's just so that we can make sure that we keep things moving. So just a quick thank you for being here. And welcome to our new system called EP&L, our customer portal is what we're going to call it for you guys. This does not go live until April 22nd. So I'm going to tell you multiple times, don't do anything until Tuesday. We're going to have a handout for you at the end to give you some pointers. So if you don't feel like you have to take notes, and again, like I said, this will be available for you online. The other piece to this is we are not here to talk about specific permits. So if you have a plumbing question, if you have a rental question, this is not the place for it. So we are introducing you to the system itself and what it's going to look like. So if you have those questions, I encourage you to reach out to our office tomorrow or even next week. All right. So just some ground rule terminology as we're going through this to help you understand, because we are migrating, just around 150 items into this online portal. Not everything is going to be there, but it's going to be pretty encompassing. So like I said, our new system is called the customer portal. And this is where you will have the option to do many of our functionality that now is on paper for permitting and licensing. If you are someone that does business with the city, a business license is what that called, your actual entity itself. The system that we had previously was called CSS, or customer service. And then we also have our professional licenses. So if you are a contractor, your general contractor license. If you registered as a cattery, that might be a professional license as well. Anything that we're talking about, they're permits today. That's the actual application that you submit to the city. And the applicant is the person submitting the application itself. So just a few things to keep in mind. There are some applications that still will not be online. And again, it will really depend. If you're on the system and you're looking and you're like, gosh, I really can't find what I'm looking for, it may be something that is not available through the citizen side of the portal. Have to hit the right button. There we go. So once you go to our website and that first screen it had that you're going to click on our customer portal, you're going to get to what is our customer server portal dashboard. And this is actually just these, it's going to look pretty standard for you. I'm going to call out just a few things for you specifically, and then we'll go into it. So we have our login and registration in the top right-hand corner. We also have one in the first box on the left as well. That first box actually, if once you're logged in, turns into your My Account. So you'll be able to update your own information through that piece and make sure that it's current. You'll also have our My Dashboard, which is where we'll spend a lot of our time talking, and so that you can see some of the functionality we have. And then just some quick available options for you. So where you can apply, where you can request inspections, pay an invoice if you want to do some of our quick links. And then if you are a citizen that just does business with the city from your house, we also have our pay your trash bill on here. So that is another option for you. This will all be migrated into one spot for you. So just some things to think about as you're looking at our page. All right, so this is what our registration looks like. And if you already have an account with the city that you pay your bills online, that is going to come over for you. So what I'm going to tell you is one of the most important things you will hear tonight, other than don't go in there until April 22nd. If you are a business and you do business with the city, our recommendation to you is you have one account that you share. So if your office, if you have multiple office staff, I know this is a big no-no, but we're telling you, share the account. And that is because then it'll all live together. You'll have all of your bills in one spot. You'll have all of your permits. You'll have all of your registrations. And so we want that to live with your company, not with your one office person who perhaps leaves and then you don't have access to that stuff and you're trying to figure out where it all go in and which permits were paid, which ones weren't, which licenses are due, registrations, things like that. So just something to keep in mind. The other side to that is, since we're migrating everything into this system, if you use your personal email to register and you live in Council Bluffs and you pay your trash bill this way, your trash bill is going to show up on this as well. So just something to keep in mind. We're recommending that you have one account for your business specifically that you share. So here's our two options for logging in. If you already have an account, your email is pulling over. Easy way to tell is if you got this invite via email, we have your email address. If we didn't get it for you, you need to give us a call so that we can get you in the system. All right. There we go. So like I said, we're going to spend most of our time on our customer portal and the dashboard specifically. So when you're in there, this is actually what it's going to look like. You're going to be able to see all the things that you have applied for right there on one page. So just a couple terminology things. Your top left-hand corner of that little tiny spot, sorry, it's kind of little, is your attention. If it is red, that means there's something that we sent back to you that's not current, that needs attention, that needs you to go back and fix something. We've returned it to you to do something before we're going to review it. We also have pending. That means you've submitted to the city and we haven't had a chance to look at it yet, or it's in process. We have active. That means we've issued you something. It's completely through the process and it is active on your side. And then we have a draft feature now, which is really exciting. So you can start working on things, but you don't have to have them submitted just yet. We're not going to review anything that's in draft mode, just so you know. It's not going to go to staff ahead of time. So things to keep in mind. You'll also be able to see any invoices that you have here, your licenses that are open. And this is where I say if you have multiple businesses or multiple things happening and you use that one email address, it's all going to come into one spot. So you can't see this, but I've actually registered for a general contractor license and I also have a cattery. I don't think we want both. If you're a business, you don't want both of those things on one account, but just something to keep in mind. All right. So when you're submitting our applications, it's all generally going to look exactly the same. Maybe some of the things at the top are slightly different, but you're going to be able to see where you're in the process at all times. And this is where I said you can save things for draft form. So we're not, if you come into the city and you submitted a permit specifically as of late, and you're like, oh yeah, I just don't have this piece yet. Our technicians are like, yeah, we're not responsible for your paperwork. Why don't you take that back? And when you got it all, we'll come back. You can come back to us. This now allows you to start the process, start saving them so that you can work through that. But there's points at which you cannot submit because there's required things that can't move forward. For example, on this page, I've applied to build a house and I don't have a general contractor. So I can't move forward until I have a general contractor associated with my permit. Also, what will happen is if I choose Rodney's general contracting company and I'm not actually working with him, he's going to get notified that says, hey, somebody submitted a permit and it's going to you, so that he can call and say, hey, I had nothing to do with this. And we can reach out to that company in hopes that we have some of these instances where contractors change. We're aware of that ahead of time so that we're not coming back and you get a notification, hey, we didn't get this past inspection. You're like, I didn't do that work. So just things that we're trying to be proactively changing. So like I said, you'll have that draft feature and you'll be able to save things as you're going. The other thing that you'll be able to do is, I know a lot of you have lots of contractors that you work with regularly, or you have multiple people on your staff that you're submitting applications for. You're going to be able to save favorites. So you don't have to search them every single time. You'll have that My Favorites feature. As long as you click it, they'll all pop up for you right there and you can add whichever contractor you choose. Again, this will notify the contractors that they were selected for an application. So they're also going to get that notification that they have something on their queue. All right. So the My Work feature, as you're going through this, and I know this is a little bit small. Again, we'll have this online if you want to refer back to it. There's several features on here, and really it's about giving you information ahead of time. I know a lot of times now you have to call our office and say, hey, can you give me the status of this? You're going to be able to see all of that now if you're using our online portal. So the first one is My Invoices. On this, you're going to be able to see the amount, when it's due, and the address right there on the main screen, so you'll know what you're looking for. The next one is My Permits. You'll be able to see exactly the same thing, but also the status, if it's in review, if it's active, it's getting, if it's denied, whatever the status may be, you'll be able to see it right there. Same with licenses. You'll be able to see that similar information available to you, as well as the type of license that you're applying for. If you were to click into one of those items, specifically a permit, it's going to give you this nice little page. It's going to show you exactly where it is in the workflow and how much of the progress is complete and if you still have outstanding fees. So you'll be able to see specifically on whatever permit you're working on, where it's at in our process. Again, there's also a little box off to the side there. It says available actions. That's where it's going to be if you can request permits for, or excuse me, inspections for something. So not everything is going to be able to do an inspection on, you're not going to be able to request it online, But if it is, it's going to show up in that box once you're to the point that you're able to do that. We are moving specifically to an e-review process. This is really permit specific, just so that for those of you that are landlords in the room, just to give you some clarifying. But what'll happen is, again, we're not going to review any application permits until they're 100% complete, and we're able to route them. You will provide notes. So right now, a lot of times what happens if you're working with some of our inspectors, they're specifically contacting you and they're saying, hey, there's something wrong with your permit. You need to get me more information. And then you submit it back to them. And it's not really logged as well as we would like. So all of your reviews and comments will now be provided through the system. And you'll get that notification through a no reply email address. Again, don't reply back to it. We're not looking at it. It's definitely no reply for a reason. So if you do have questions, you can always reach out to our staff. But this is where we're going to try to be able to log our communications with you as well. The other piece to this that folks may or may not realize sometimes is when we do request revisions from you and you submit it back to us, you go back into our queue. So I'm trying to remind folks just, hey, there's a lot of permits that are coming through. If you sit on something and it's in your action list for a really long time and you're like, oh gosh, I didn't get that in here, it's in now. Can you look at it today? You're getting back in line with everybody else. So just something to keep in mind. All right. Payments. You are still able to come into City Hall. I know that's scary for folks that everything has to come online. You're absolutely okay to come into the building, go down to Treasury and pay your bills. Still a functionality that we'll have, but you will be able to do it through the portal as well. Any invoices will be available this way as well. So you'll be able to track that through that dashboard like I showed you. And then you'll also be able to see any outstanding or your late fees, things like that. They'll all show up in one spot. If you had a late fee before we went to this system, it's still going to be there, guys. It's still going to carry over. So just something to keep in mind. Those things aren't going away. You'll still have that. And if there's something that you see when you get into the system, like, I wasn't expecting this, give us a call so we can talk through it. For renewals, you'll get a reminder email, as well as you'll be able to see, oh, hang on, I lost my spot. Oh, you'll be able to see all those reminders that are coming through on that calendar. The last thing that I want to make sure folks understand is our new system allows us to collect review fees ahead of time. So right now, if you're applying for a permit that requires plan review, you don't pay that until we actually issue you pay your whole fee at the end and we issue your permit. And unfortunately, we all know projects fall through and we've done all that review and then you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do this project. So we don't collect that. The rule now is going to be, yes, we have your application complete. Before we route that, you need to pay that fee and then it will be routed through the system. That way we're ensuring that we're getting that collected. And then after they do all the comments back and forth, the actual permit fee, the building fee will be issued then. All right, inspections. Some of them can be requested through the portal, some of them will not be able to. And if you need a same-day inspection, you're still going to have to call. Those are not going to be something that we're going to be able to do in the system. You'll get actually all your notifications through the system also. So if we get that scheduled, you'll see a notification. You'll be able to see your results and any contact that you have associated with that will also be able to see the results. So for example, if you're a landlord and your management company is listed on there, but you want to see what those results are from your management company, as long as you're a contact in there, you'll be able to see all those too, and you can make sure that everything's happening the way you expected. You'll also be able to see any other schedules that are coming through. And I just throwing this reminder out here, you get 2 free inspections with your permit. Anything beyond that, you get charged for. So just something to keep in mind that the system will now allow us to collect that easier before we'll let you schedule. All right, some specific things to rental. If you are a new landlord, you still got to call us. You are not going to be able to start in the online system. You will have to do it there with us, and we have our contact information on here. Each year, we're asking you to review all of your rentals that you have on our list to make sure they're current. If you can add or subtract any through the new system, but you just can't if you're brand new. We want to talk to you first. We want to fill out that initial application with you. If you have any required inspections, they'll be scheduled automatically every 3 years now. And then any re-inspection, so let's say you do have a failed unit, we will actually schedule that with our inspectors will schedule it that day. Like, hey, let's talk about when we're coming back. Let's get it on the books so that it shows up on the calendar for you right away. All right, these are really tiny, but these are my shouty capital points. Do not go into our system until April 22nd, Tuesday. If you register before Tuesday, it's not going to be there, guys. So don't waste your time. If you already have an online account with us, it's going to pull over. But like I said, your email address, if you did not get this via email, we may not have the appropriate address for you. Let us give us a call so that we can get that updated in the system. Let's see here. We're telling you one email account, one account per business is, again, the big point of all this. We also have a how-to guides on that main page. We're going to continue to update those. This presentation will be on there also, so you'll be able to see that, but continue to look at that if you have any questions. We'll try to keep adding things to that as we get recurring issues that folks are having. You can always come into City Hall to still all of your business. And we actually have now on the second floor, let's say you don't have a computer at home or you're just using your smartphone, we actually have a kiosk on second floor now. So you'll be able to do that right outside of the building division. And the rental office will be able to help you there. So the city does have an app. And if you are phone friendly, you can download our app and it will take you to the city's website. Again, you can download this app, but don't go register for our customer portal until Tuesday. All right. That was the fastest. Oh, do you want me to back up? Somebody getting the QR code? Yes. Yeah, we're gonna give you a handout with all the things that I screamed at you. All right. Oop, too far. So that was a very quick overview. Our phone numbers are also on the handout, so just something to keep in mind. If you do need your email address updated, give us a call. If you have questions about specific permits, give us a call tomorrow. Otherwise, we're going to send you into, does anybody have any questions before we move on? Yes. All right. I'm going to turn this over. Oop, wrong way. I'm going to turn this over to Sarah, and she's going to actually show you what our portal looks like so that you can get just a quick feel for it. Thanks, folks. Thank you.
Okay, hi guys. I am Sarah. I am in IT. So I want to just go through how you're going to register for an account, how you can apply for a permit, how you can just view some information in there. So from our website, so this is our councilbluffs-ia.gov. So on Tuesday, this customer portal link will link to our new customer portal. So we can get to the customer portal from the website, an easy link. It is going to take you to our portal. If you see this red banner on here, do not register. That means we are not live. Once we go live, this will be taken off. But like Courtney said, this is the dashboard. I am going to go in here and I am going to register for an account. So up here, register, I'm going to create an account. I'm going to type in my email. My first name, my last name. And then a password. It needs to be 8 characters, a lowercase letter, an uppercase letter, a number, and then no parts of your username. Sign up. Okay, you'll get sent an email to the email that you put on file or with the email that you entered. It is going to come from Community Access Identity, and it will have a code. So you take the code. enter the code, verify. It is going to want you to set up another a security method. I'm just going to set it up for my phone. You will get another code. Yep. No, you will just put in your email and then your password, the password that you set up. This is just the first time that you register that you have to verify. Yep. So it's just going through a couple steps. We want to validate that your information is correct. It's going to give you a chance to enter in, change your first name, last name, enter in your company, ask you your contact preference. So do you prefer to get contacted by email, phone? And then it's going to ask for phone numbers. They can all be the same. Enter your address. Okay, so you're registered. You can see that you're logged in here, and then here's the dashboard that Courtney said. I don't have anything assigned to this. So I want to show you though, up here in the corner is your account. You can change your address, your invoices here, business here. Here's your saved work. So if you save a draft in any of there, you can get to it from here. And then your contact manager, this is where you can save those favorites. So if you have multiple contractors that you're using or multiple people, you can save them here in the contact manager. Yep. The bidding cycle for no, it will not be. Yep. Yes. The question was for the online people, if you have an Ion Wave account, they will be two different logins. Okay. Here are the how-to guides up here. So here's a quick link. It will take you to our website. There'll be a customer portal guide here. There'll be a permit application guide as well. And then here's a video on how to set up your own account. So if you forget what we just went through, here's a quick video on how to set up that account. Courtney mentioned that. So I am going to quickly apply for a roof permit. So if you click apply, this pop-up is called our decision engine. It is a little helpful. It'll ask you a series of questions to get you to the right permit. If you know what permit type you are trying to register for, you can click no. If you click yes, it will have some boxes that say, you know, do you want a construction permit? Do you want a license? Do you want a miscellaneous permit? I'm just going to do a roof permit. You can also search for a permit here. So if you just search roof, it will pull up all of the permit types. That is a roof. And then it takes you through these steps. Any questions on this? I'm going to log out and sign in as someone that already has accounts. Permits, licenses, and invoices. Any questions on? Yep.
Phone number,
Mm-hmm.
is that for the company or different people who, like my husband and I?
So you can have multiple contacts on here. when you set up the account, I would put the contact for the company. So whatever phone number you want to have, that will, if there's any questions on your license or on the inspections, that's the contact that they will use. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, say if you got the inspection scheduled, will it text you that the inspector's on his way or?
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Yep.
On the, like, on this, for example, I'm a landlord and I wanted to see, who, if there was somebody working on my property that they applied for a permit, can I see that that is on my property and my address?
At this point, we do not have that opened up. There is some functionality we can, you can see it if you're added as a contact. So if you're added as a contact as the owner on the application, then yes, you can log in and you can see all of the applications, permits, licenses that you are tied to. Anything else? So a logout button. There's also a social media login functionality that is integrated with this. You can sign in with your Google account, your Apple account, Microsoft or Facebook. If you sign up this way using this, you must log in every time using this option. Oh, Gmail, not Council Bluffs. Do not use a Council Bluffs email. Even we forget our passwords. Okay, so this is a customer that already has some permits in there. So I'm going to go to their dashboard. You can see here there's a pending permit, there's an active permit, there's outstanding invoices that this customer has, and then there is a rental license that is due to be renewed. I made up these dates so I can show you the renew button. They're not due yet. So a couple of things I want to show while you're in here. So when you're back at the dashboard or the main screen, the pay invoice, that button will take you directly to your invoices. Here you can search paid, unpaid, all invoices. So if you want a list of all of your paid invoices, you can do that. You can click them all, add them to the cart, pay. Same as the permits here in your My Work. Here's the permits, one's issued, one's in review, and then request inspections. So this one is available to request a final for this roof. This permit here is still in review. So I'm going to go look to see where we are in the process. It looks like that I am in the plan review step. I'm 14% complete. If I go under the reviews, I can see that I have a failed submittal here and that there's comments and recommendations of what we need to do. We need to move this, the planning department wants to move the fence back 2 inches from the property line. So here's where you can directly respond to that. So they're saying, hey, you need to do this. You can respond to that. You will upload new plans. You will submit that. It will go back to us for review. This roof permit is ready for me to request that inspection. So here, we've done the work. I want to get that final inspection done. I can just click here, request. It will go to our department. We will schedule it. You will get notified when we schedule it and when that date and time is. You can also view your permit document here. So here's your permit. You can print on your own. You can always get to it. Yep.
On the, request for permit, is there calendar there so we can schedule a date, time?
Yep. There's a date, time. So a requested date, and then they're in AM, PM increments. So if you want an AM or PM, and then what's a comment or a gate code, or, you know, if there's someone that you want to contact beforehand, but, you know, call 10 minutes before, you can put that comment in there and the inspector will see that.
So once you make that schedule, it's not going to let you pick exactly your time that you're not going to be able to pick 11:50. It's going to give you the AM and PM like Sarah said, just like we do now, we give you that block of time. That is not going to change. You will be notified if that is acceptable to if the inspectors are available. So it may not work for the time you've asked for. Just keep that in mind. We still have to schedule around lots of all the inspections that we're doing. Correct. That is requesting.
You might request something for Tim might have something, so you'll get the notification saying, no, that wasn't, we had to move it to, or that might be called. You're just requesting it, whether to put it for 11:05, doesn't mean it automatically gets scheduled.
Yep. On this permit, you can get a copy of your invoice. You can go into the invoice in the printer. There'll be a copy of the invoice if you need those for your records. You can also see the payment when it was received, what's the status, how it was paid for there. Yep.
Regarding payments, what options for payment will be available?
It will take checks and e-checks and credit cards. There's no fees for credit cards to our customers, but yeah, we'll take e-checks and credit cards.
I had a bunch of permits, but
The question for the folks online is there's a limit on the amount that you're allowed to submit at once. I'm not sure, Mike.
I don't know.
We'll have to check. And if we get there, we'll figure out how to get past it.
I want to say another city had like a limit. Yep. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, bank cards will
Bank
work as
cards.
well.
Bank cards and credit cards.
Sarah, we also had a question online that asked if the inspection request voicemail box is still going to be active. And Courtney said yes. So just so you all know, the voicemail box is still going to be active.
Again, you'll still be, if you don't want to use this functionality, you can still call the office to do all the same things that you do now. We're not changing anything with that. We're not forcing you to go online.
Earlier, wouldn't be able to request same day because
Right.
one morning, 2 hours, the guy went 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not going to call the
Right.
inspection request.
For the folks online, we said that you still have to schedule same day inspections by calling the office.
Last thing is here on your calendar, you can see all of your inspections that are scheduled. when your permits are expiring, when your licenses are expiring, invoices are due. So this calendar function will lump all of those together, all of your stuff. Maybe. There it goes. So I had an inspection today, and then I have another one scheduled for the 24th. I'm going to jump in real quick and go through the rental license piece. So we have the business name is going to be the property address. So the address of the property, that is going to be the company name. And then you'll have your license under there. Your inspections are tied to your company or the address, the property there. You can see the inspections here. So you'll be able to see past failed inspections here. You'll be able to go in there and see what the results are. That you need to fix a crack in a sidewalk. You need to install a handrail to the basement. And then you can also see when your next inspection is scheduled. And then on the license, I've already registered. This one expires on the 1st. To renew it, it's just a quick renew here. You renew it. If nothing's changed, this property is good. You're renewing it for next year. You can also receive your certificate of registration right here with that printer icon. Any questions on the rental licenses?
Okay, that's all we have for you guys today. We do have a handout that we'll put right by the back door for you that has the QR codes, those quick things. April 22nd, Tuesday. Don't go in before then. Otherwise, you're kicked out. You're gonna have to do it over. So just things to keep in mind. Thank you all for coming. This will be posted on our guides. Have a good evening. Goodbye.